"Mom, I'm going to need you to open that case," the TSA agent said, his voice clipped with routine authority. The woman standing before him didn't flinch. Dressed in a simple, sharply tailored black suit, her blonde hair tightly pinned, she stood with a stillness that almost unsettled. Slung over her shoulder was a long, triangular, velvet-covered case. Nothing flashy, but something about the way she held it felt ceremonial, reverent. "It's a ceremonial flag case," she said softly, her voice calm but steady, as if this conversation had happened before. The agent didn't budge. "We still need to inspect it." A few passengers behind her sighed, murmuring in mild irritation at the delay. One man rolled his eyes, muttering something under his breath as he checked his watch. Another leaned to peek around her, trying to see what the holdup was. To them, she was just another traveler slowing things down. Nothing about her screamed importance until she moved, and they noticed the precise, deliberate way she walked to the secondary inspection table. The supervisor was called in. Clipboard in hand, he asked her to step aside. She complied without a hint of frustration, carrying the case like one might carry a folded flag at a funeral. Carefully, respectfully. She placed it on the table, hands still resting on it, eyes forward. The supervisor unzipped it slowly, and then everything stopped. Inside was a perfectly folded American flag, its stars crisp and white against deep navy blue. Nestled beside it were a pair of polished black ceremonial shoes, wrapped in cloth, and a gloved handrest bar. Tucked into the upper lining was a single plaque, etched with bold, unmistakable words, Tomb Guard Identification Badge, number 548. For several seconds, no one said a word. The TSA supervisor stared, unsure if what he was looking at was real. The agent beside him swallowed hard. The woman remained motionless. Then, almost in a whisper, she confirmed it. "Badge number 548, third relief, Tomb of the Unknown Soldier." It hit like a thunderclap. The supervisor stood straighter instantly. The joking agent stepped back, his face drained of smugness. A businessman nearby who had previously scoffed now looked away, visibly ashamed. Even the security line behind her went quiet as word spread like wildfire down the queue. From the next checkpoint, a young Marine in dress uniform stepped out of line. He looked at her, recognizing the badge. "She's a tomb guard," he asked quietly. She nodded. Without hesitation, he snapped into a salute. High, sharp, flawless. Gasps followed. Someone whispered, "She guards the tomb." "In Arlington." Another voice responded reverently, "Rain, snow, day or night. They never stop, never break formation, never speak." That's one of the rarest honors. People were no longer just looking, they were watching. With awe, with reverence. The supervisor gently zipped the case back up and handed it to her with both hands, as if returning a sacred object to its rightful protector. "I'm sorry for the delay, ma'am," he said, now deeply respectful, "and thank you for your service." She offered only a quiet nod, took the case, and turned toward her gate. But this time, the crowd parted without being asked. No one sighed, no one complained. Some people even stepped back instinctively, not out of fear, but respect. The young Marine fell into step behind her, not assigned, not ordered. He just walked with her, as if moved by something older than duty. At gate 12, a child asked his mother what had just happened. She crouched beside him and whispered, "That woman guards the unknown soldiers, the ones who never made it home." And somewhere in the hum of the terminal, people who had once been too busy to notice now stood still, because she hadn't come carrying a weapon or a title. She carried a symbol, a story, a sacrifice. And for those who understood, that made her presence louder than any announcement on the speaker system. She had walked into that airport unseen. She walked out unforgettable. Before we end this story, let us know in the comment, where are you watching from? If this story touched you, subscribe to the channel and hit that like button and drop your thoughts below.